Good morning. Welcome to my rooftop. I did show you in the last episode what it looked like after it was done. I did mention that I was very pleased with the way it's come up. Today I'm gonna go ahead and put the securing brackets on. Hopefully we can get that done in the morning. I do need to go out to the hardware store to get some reinforced brackets to put underneath. But I think we will wait until I want to get some measurements for the water tank to see if I can actually put it up here. If not, then we'll go ahead and get the PVC piping. Either way, it doesn't matter which one I put in. They've both got advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, so let's secure this on first, and we will head up to the hardware store. So to make the decking all as one piece rather than 10 separate pieces, I'm going to be wrapping around the edging with this aluminium strapping all the way around. That way, if it does fly off for whatever reason, it'll still be in one piece. I very much doubt it will. There's 90 screws in there at the moment, and there's going to be quite a few more after I'm done. But just in case, I would like to reinforce it. It'll also put a trimming around it as well to hide any little variations in the placement of the decking wood. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that up. It should be exactly 8 meters around because the wood is 2.5 meters long times 2 on both sides is 5 meters, and then to 1.5 meters. So it should be 8 meters all up, but I will double check that. So I've just noticed one of the panels is coming off. I'm going to have to secure them in with the screws as well. I think one should be enough on each side of the planks, but I guess the adhesives haven't held. I did mention that they're not made for walls, but the liquid nails obviously hasn't worked. So I will do that, probably not until after I finish the roof though. I'm almost finished doing this side of the strapping, the first side. I'm not really filming too much of it because there's it's basically just drill and screw. But one thing I did notice, it's easier to drill in and screw in slightly to the left side of the hole. Because when you put the screw in, it tightens it and it makes it flat like this. Whereas if you screw it in the middle, it leaves a little bit of a gap. But luckily it was on the first side, so I can continue doing that on the other side. So I'll just show you what I mean. So I've drilled in this hole here, and it's slightly to the left, and when I put the screw in, it pulls it that way and it makes it flat. looks like I'm gonna have to go up to the hardware store now anyway. I snapped another drill head. I have also almost run out of screws, so I need to get some more. I'm gonna get some more screws for the paneling inside anyway. So let's duck up to the hardware store and we'll continue. I'll do the measurements for the water tank and stuff later, because I will probably also need to get some wood to box it in. So that's going to require a lot more time. This should just be a quick stop. Got back from the hardware store and started drilling again. I've broken the drill bit as well, so there's 2 drill bits stuck in the wood. I can't actually get the pliers to reach in there. I'll have to go back up to get more drill bits, but I might leave that for now. I did forget to get the brackets anyway, so I'll get that when I go up there next, but for now let's screw in the vinyl planking. So just before I go back up to the hardware store, I am going to take some measurements for the water tank. So my plan is to secure the water tank down here on the front end of the decking, and then on top of that to put the solar panel. If it seems a bit too high, or if I can't secure it on properly, then what I'll do is I'll get the PVC piping instead and have the solar panel flat on the decking. The PVC piping should be fine along the sides of the van. I've seen quite a few of tradesmen with this vehicle secured it on their one, so I'm not worried about that. But hopefully we can use this one, because this one is made for storing water, and I won't have to build it out of the PVC. So let me just take some measurements and we will head up. So one of the other things I wanted to use this decking for was to actually lie on. So when it's a nice night, I can sit up on the deck, and it looks like I do have enough space to do this, which is good. So I will head up to the hardware store now, and we will grab the braces. This is the solar panel that I've gotten. It's a 300 watt single panel. It's a monocrystal one. Just from the look of it already, it looks too big. I'm pretty sure with that tank as well, it's going to take up too much space and be too tall. I'm just going to open it and measure it up, but it looks like I may have to go for the PVC. Okay, so I got this specific solar panel over a flat, flexible panel, because this was the same price as a flat one, but this one included a charge controller, which is this. Buying the charge controller separately would have doubled the price. Unfortunately, the way that they have it mounted on here is not suitable for what I need it. I need this to be inside. The charge controller needs to be inside the van. So it looks like I'm going to have to rewire these cables anyway, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, because I need that inside. That can't be left outside. The charge controller. So if you don't know what a charge controller is, it's so it basically regulates the amount of electricity that the solar panel is absorbing and pushing into the battery. So it works the same way that the regulator on the dual battery system works, where it doesn't pull too much power from the car battery into the secondary battery. This charge controller works the same way. So it's just making sure that the solar panel is not pushing too much electricity into the battery system. So I will have to check these cables and get a longer one. But for now, let's get measurements. Alright, so the it's not as thick as I thought it would be. It just looked thicker when it was folded in. But I may be able to mount it on top. I'll just double check some stuff. I just wanted to go over the solar charge controller because it may look confusing, but it really isn't that that confusing at all. So basically on here, the bottom bit here is where all the cables go to. So in there's little screws, and you just put your exposed wire in there and then screw it in to fasten it. There's 6 of them on here. So 2 of them are for solar input. So that's what the solar panel is going into. 2 of them are for your battery. So what's getting charged. And 2 of them are output. So the output would be if you are directly plugging in a device, like lights. I am not going to be hooking anything up to here because everything's going to be running through my battery anyway. So I won't need to use the last 2. It's just these ones. This one also has a USB power out as well. I'm in a bit of a conundrum at the moment. So having a look at it from down here, the solar panel sits quite flat, and it's pretty unnoticeable when it's like that. Whereas when it's sitting on the water tank, it's quite obviously noticeable because it sits so much higher up. I need to make a decision on it pretty soon. I might go up to the hardware store and see what the PVC piping cost will be to make it. Yeah, I kind of like it better with it sitting flat like that. You really can't notice it that much. yeah, let's go up to the hardware store and I'll make a decision there. I'm having a bit of trouble choosing some piping. The one that I want is the bigger one. So that's 150 mils across. But they don't have it in any of the long ones. They've only got it in meter ones. They can get custom ones in, but it's going to be about 2 weeks for that. The bigger ones for the 10 mils, there's no couplings, so I can't have it bend around the shape with the ones that they have in stock. I could get an even smaller one, which they do have couplings for. So I may do that. But either way, I'm gonna have to bring the van in for that because that's not gonna fit in my car. So yeah, let me do some working out and I will choose one. I've just got back from the hardware store. I didn't end up getting any of the PVC piping. The guy at the hardware store said that I would be better off going to a plumbing supply store to get the PVC piping that was the right size. Let's finish up on securing the deck, and I will go to the Okay, so I've made my decision on what to do about the water situation. I am going to use the water tank that I've already got and build a structure around it. So this is the height that it will need to be. It's 2 of those decking planks. So I will build a frame all the way around and then the solar panel can sit on top of that. So I will need to go back to the hardware store and pick up some more of that decking wood. I can also use it as storage as well because the water tank is it doesn't quite fit. There's excess space. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm back from the hardware store. I didn't end up getting any of the decking wood. Turns out it's going to be more expensive for me to get the decking wood than it is to get the PVC piping and create a new water system. I need to work out how much water is actually stored in there. So I need to. It's one of those things that I just kept getting confused about because converting it from liters to cubic centimeters, I just kept going round and round and round with the price differentials. So I need to write this down on paper and have it in front of me. I don't have any pen or paper and I don't carry any, and I could have written it on my phone, but I think it's just easier with pen and paper. It's getting a bit late anyway, so I might leave that for tomorrow to make a decision. I did get some cabling and connector pins, so I am ready to hook up the solar system, but as I said, I can't do that until I figure out what's happening with the water tank. So let me get back to you tomorrow on what I decide to do, just depending on how much that PVC can hold will determine if I'm doing that or building the box. I think I will call it quits here today for now. Yeah, there's just a lot of mathematical equations involved here. Uh, so let's finish up. I think I'll just leave the solar panel up there for now. It is quite heavy. It's about 20 kilos, so it doesn't look like it's going to rain. So I think the charge controller should be fine. Yeah. Didn't get anywhere near as much as I thought we would today. But yeah, let's just wait till tomorrow and continue on. Once again, thanks for joining me today.